Today's show is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, the top-rated sportsbooking app in all of North America. Safe, secure, and more importantly, they are reliable. So for all of my people, though, that want to get involved, because like I said, we don't just talk about them when we talk about them. We give you a reason to talk about them. We know it's the wild card. Well, wild card just finished up, not the outcome that some of us wanted, but I'm sure there's some people that still got a little action going on. And if you are in that case, then yeah, man, DraftKings is the place that you want to be for, especially the new people out there, right? When you download the app, you use that first, or you make your first deposit of $5, man. You use the promo code MOATS. You will receive $200 in bonus bets. It's a cool concept, man. Gives you a chance to potentially get more earnings off of that thing, man. But at the same time, you can get lost in the sauce. And if that does happen, and you're in New York, it's the number that you can text. But for everybody else, the digits to dial are 1-800-GAMBLER. I said a 1-800-GAMBLER.
My thing is, though, I mean, Tomlin does have a big say, if not all the say, on some of these coaching hires and recent turnover we've had with that and the personnel. Mm-hmm. So, like, that falls on him, too. Like, hiring Canada, going from Canada to Arthur Smith, having Tara Austin in here. Some of these, like the decision to move off of Ben, and go with Kenny and Mitch, and then go from them to Russell and Fields. Mm-hmm. It's on top, like it is. Like he's been overseeing all this, and it hasn't been working.
From your vantage point, it hasn't worked. Yes.
Well, what's the goal? I mean, if the goal is just to,
I think,
lose playoff games, go 0-8 in the playoffs, or whatever, or 0-6 in the playoffs, not have a playoff win in 8 years, sure. Like, to be relevant, sure. But, I mean, we're trying to win Super Bowls.
I'm with you, man. I'm listening to you. Like I said, we're not going to have the same vantage point.
It seems like we're a million miles away. We're rating that 9-8, 10-7 standpoint, but in terms of competing with the Ravens and the Chiefs and the Bills, like in a serious manner.
So you named the top 4 teams, 3 of them teams are favorites to win the Super Bowl?
But that's where we got to get. We're not there, so something's got to give.
So, Deke, you said if we're not the top 4 teams that are on the, like, favorites.
Well, you could probably say top 7-8 teams across the league, because if you're talking AFC, NFC.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, we got to get there.
Okay.
If we're not, it's just like, what are we doing?
Okay.
I thought that was the Steelers standard. Like that's just how it is with this organization. I mean, we're one of those programs. We're one of those franchises. That's the expectation. That's how it's been.
Talk that talk,
going
man.
back to the 70s.
Heck yeah, talk that
all the
talk,
way
Deke.
throughout Cowher and the 90s, early 2000s. Now even with Tomlin, the last decade, it hasn't been there. It just hasn't.
Would it feel better for you if we just were historically bad each and every week then? Because
I'm not looking for that.
No. The reason I ask is this.
We got to find some way to get back to that. The reason I ask is
this. You are clearly fed up with the 10 wins. You're clearly fed up with the constant relevance. You're clearly fed up with feeling like you're 1 or 2 pieces away. You're clearly fed up with the hope, right? That's what you are doing a great job of articulating. So my question is, if 10 wins to you is average, if 10 wins to you is, you were sitting here at 10-3 hollering about we about to beat Baltimore and win the AFC North. That's called hope, Deke. Regardless of what you might want to agree,
in the last 5 weeks,
fine.
6 weeks.
But once again, if we're going to do it, let's do it. You said it with conviction, stand on it. So if 10 wins is mediocre, if 10 wins, it's like, let's talk about it.
Smoking in the playoffs.
Right. And who did you lose to though, Deke? Tell me the bad. What was the bad team you lost to?
Good teams, and we're not there. We're not on their level.
Which team was the one that we shouldn't have lost to that we lost to? Vegas wise.
Well, that's a problem too. Then we got to build a better team.
Okay, I'm with you.
We got to start being favorites in some of these games.
I'm with you on all that. But I'm asking though, I'm like, so 10 wins is bad. 10 wins last year was bad. 10 wins is bad.
Is it bad? I mean, it's just it's not what we're looking for. It's not the goal. It's not the ultimate goal.
Trust me, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I love all of it. And the way that you feel we can get closer to the ultimate goal of a championship is to blow it up. That's what I'm hearing, correct, right? I just want to make sure that you are using your word. I don't want to use my words.
I think it's an option. I think
yeah.
blowing it up's an option.
Okay.
My solution, again, would be to move off of Mike Tomlin, get some draft picks,
Yeah.
and then bring in a Ben Johnson.
And what does that give me, though?
And then players are you see what happens next year. You see what happens with the Fields and Ben Johnson.
Right.
And then 2026, I think you got your answers, like that offseason, for sure. I think you're, with us even bringing Tomlin back, I think you're going to have certain answers, too, depending on what we do this offseason with Fields and some of these personnel changes, coordinator changes as well. Like, I think you're going to have, you should have an answer. Like, I would do it now, but it's not happening. But with Ben Johnson, you give Fields a chance to be that guy under an OC like Ben Johnson. Obviously, he wouldn't be OC here. He'd be the head coach, but an offensive-minded guy like Ben Johnson. And then, you see what happens with the player. Maybe he does make certain trades. Maybe he does trade TJ for a couple first-round picks or something. And you see how the year goes. Because, I mean, you look at the Commanders. They got a guy in Jaden Daniel.
A championship, or is the standard see what we can do? Is what I'm trying to figure out.
That's the ultimate goal. You got to make changes. You got to take some risks.
That's what I'm asking. Does that get us closer to a championship? We're at 10 wins right now. We already know we're a good team. We're already a good team.
You find out, and if it doesn't, then you move off of that. You figure something else out.
So we just all right.
It's not necessarily a cycle. You're just taking what information's in front of you. Because right now, obviously there's no guarantee of us getting back to where we need. I don't think there's any chance if we just keep going back to the well of where we're at right now.
You do a great job with football. You watch a ton of football. You know a lot of the stats and everything like that, right? So does the history and the stats support you're more likely to get to a Super Bowl and win it by coming off of 10-win coaches than you are to stick with 10-win coaches?
Work for the Eagles.
Was that the only? It's been a lot of football.
I don't know. I don't know what the stats are. Statistics.
It's an overwhelming no.
I do know
it's an overwhelming no. That's the answer.
I do know this.
It's an overwhelming no.
Listen, we moved off to Chuck Noll. I mean, Coach Cowher retired.
I'm not
after
saying,
how many
I'm
years?
I'm not saying you got to fear it. Trust me, I'm not saying you got to fear it. But when we moved off of Chuck Noll, what was his record? When we moved off of Bill Cowher, what was his record? When the Philadelphia Eagles moved off of Andy Reid, what was his record? When Bill Belichick got moved off of in New England, what was his record? I can sure as hell tell you none of them had 10 wins and was in the postseason back to back. I can sure tell you that.
I don't know. There's some stats out there that are saying that, Tomlin's 0-6 playoff record.
The playoff record is bad. No, that's terrible. I mean, 1,000%. That's atrocious.
Yeah, that's worse than everything you're bringing up right now. So what are we talking about?
But we're saying it's worse not only because we're in the moment right now. Nobody says that when you're winning the 10 wins in the regular season. Nobody's hollering about, man, I wish we only had 3 games. I wish we only had 3. Nah, you over here beating your chest.
We were just
talking
about
So now when we lose to the day one teams that are dope.
With how we finished the regular season.
So when we lose to a team that league-wide is viewed as better, now we in our feelings about it? Why is that?
I just think a dude's here for 18 years, and it's not like rocket science that thinks he gets stale.
We have a difference of view on it. I don't view 10 wins routinely, postseason, routinely a legitimate chance to win in said postseason. I don't view that as stale. That's why I said we just got different vantage points on it. But that's why I was asking you to say your piece with it, because I know we're going to see it differently. I don't view 10 wins as normal. I don't view 10 wins as average. I don't view 10 wins as routine. I know it's sure as hell hard to get 10 wins in the National Football League, let alone do it again, let alone doing it without a steady quarterback in that span either.
And that's fine, but that's not the goal here.
What is the goal then, Deke? Tell me.
Super Bowls.
Tell me. So how do you get to the goals then, Deke? How do you get to these goals that
not
we're
doing
that we're
what we're doing right now, obviously.
But we've won them, right? We've clearly won 6 as an organization, right? So we would say we're the gold standard organization. We would say that
a playoff game in 8-9 years.
That as a whole, our organization is the gold standard, correct? So whose organization would you rather switch with? Then is what I'm asking you.
Whose organization would I switch with?
Yes, if what we have been doing
that's
is
part
so
of my
god
point too.
awful, if this method is so outdated, antiquated, and obsolete, whose?
I think that's kind of my point. We have a good organization. We got a good structure here. We should be a sought-after job.
But yet we criticize them when
let's
they
get some good candidates in here. It's not like we're going to be going for the worst candidates out there. Like Ben Johnson would be a highly sought-after candidate.
It's almost like you want to have your cake and eat it too, Deke. You want to preach about we love the organization, we love how they do business, we love that we don't keep with the Joneses. And now when we're actually in those moments to not keep up with the Joneses, to actually stick with what we do, we jump and ship at the first sign of adversity. At the second.
This isn't the first sign.
Okay.
This isn't the first. I mean, sometimes you gotta change direction. Sometimes you gotta evolve. You gotta change approaches.
Hey man, facts. I'm with you.
Life's a paradox. I mean, there is something to be said for staying consistent and maybe not keeping up with the Joneses. And
I'm with you, man. Hey,
doing things your own way, but
man.
you also gotta look yourself in the mirror and say this isn't working, bro. Like we've been at this for how long? And 8 years. No playoff wins?
Who's your quarterback doing that the whole time? And tell me when he was top 5 doing the whole time. And not no fan stuff, not no heart stuff, just legit.
What?
Doing them losses we about to bring up. Tell me when our quarterback was that guy.
Oh, I'm going back to 2017. I mean,
okay.
That's the...
And how did Seven play in said game?
I mean, he had what, 5 touchdowns?
How did he play in the game, Deke?
400 yards, 5 touchdowns.
So it was nothing negative that happened in that game?
No, he did. In first half, he wasn't
so you
perfect.
pick and choose is all I'm saying, Deke. Don't pick and choose.
I mean, the defense was bad too. I mean,
so you pick and choose.
Like,
don't pick and choose. What? Was he playing elite the whole game? No, he was not.
I mean, that was it. I mean, 5 touchdowns, 400 yards.
All right, bro. You got it. You got it, bro. I'm with you.
I think that's
enough.
I think
so
that's
we got
enough
the one game. So we got the one game.
I think that's enough. I think that's enough.
So that's the one then. Cool. We got the one.
Yeah.
Tell me about the other ones. Are you gonna say the same about he didn't do anything wrong versus the Browns? Right?
No, he didn't. I mean, defense was bad too. That wasn't his best game either. Defense was terrible.
All right, Raven, you got it.
Am I wrong?
No, you got it, bro.
Am I wrong?
I agree with you. I do.
And then that game against that team was
which one?
That was a broken team against the Chiefs.
So that was a broken team versus the Chiefs?
Yeah, that was a broken team.
Whose quarterback was better?
Yeah, Mahomes was. Yeah.
Okay. And then the following year, who did we play? Well, we missed it then.
Yeah.
Buffalo, right?
Yeah.
Who was the better quarterback then?
Yeah, Josh Allen.
Then we just had another game yesterday, right? Or Saturday. Who's the better quarterback then?
Yeah.
You notice the common theme in all of them. So we could make it about, man, you keep losing, or we could just say, no, their quarterback was better in all the matchups.
Well, sure, but the defense still shouldn't be giving up 30 to 40 points in any of these games, and I mean it's bad.
I would agree. I'm not saying it's good.
It's bad. That's because it's one thing to be talking about quarterback play offense, which again, yeah, we do need to get that right, 100%. But these defenses have been terrible. Like it's just across the board the team.
Yeah,
well, I'm not. You could bring up Ben maybe not having some of his best performances.
You heard me say what I said in the sense of I would switch the way we pay structure because clearly a TJ Watt and Minka is not worth more than a heck of a 5-star or top 5 quarterback. That's already what I said. I've already cleared that up. So we can say the same thing over and over, but I've already let you know, defense, being top heavy on defense is not going to get you the results you want. You have to be top heavy at offense at quarterback. You have to have a guy. If you do not, it doesn't matter. We've done the defense, and the problem is this. As an elite defense, you don't get to ever get saved. You can't do the 2 quarters bad, 2 quarters good. You can't do 3 quarters bad, 1 quarter good. Offensively, you can't. So understanding that, why even lie to ourselves anymore? It matters way more to have a guy that can score because, hey, we even seen with Kenny Pickett. You could wait till the 4th quarter with a couple minutes left, and if okay defense, you keep him around, I got a chance for this dude to get it. So why spend all that over there when I can go ahead and put it on offense? And we've also seen that as fans, people are more okay with losing if you score 30. We've also seen that. It's people that swear by that Bengals team because they could score a ton of points this season. Nobody cares that they were bad and could not stop anything until late in the year and didn't make the postseason. We're enamored by the fact they score a lot of points.
Well, I think they would have had a better chance than us in the
But
playoffs.
how did they get there? They don't even get the opportunity because they suck. So we can say what we want to say.
I wouldn't say that.
So why didn't they win enough games then, Deke? Tell me.
Well, some bad breaks. It happens. It's almost like our...
That was bad breaks. It happens. We will make excuses for
it happened to us
teams.
In our 9-6-1
Did you win or not? You won. Did you win? It's execution.
We beat good teams that year.
Because you executed.
Boz missed a ton of field goals.
We executed, and Coach Tomlin overachieved with the group that he had. But we don't like to talk about that. We only want to poo-poo us because it fits the narrative, and then we will. Oh, look at that! That was great over there.
Overachieving. Like our defense.
What would you call it then?
Bad,
if we're talking about how bad all these
teams
teams are, right? We're talking about how bad roster are, how bad coaching staff is, how bad this is, that, and that.
We're paying them the highest in the league.
But yet we still are winning all these games. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Not against the good teams. Like we got to get
not
there.
The good teams, the elite teams. Let's classify it, because 10 wins, you clearly are beating good teams. You're losing to the elite teams, and we've isolated them to the teams with quarterbacks. So we could do all this other, but does that get you past the teams with quarterbacks? Because we know we could win 10 wins. We already know we could do that. What gets you to beat the elite tier teams that have the quarterbacks? That's the big question. That's the $100 million question. We could talk about all this other stuff. Does any of that get you past Mahomes? Does any of that get you past Lamar Jackson? Does any of that get you past Josh Allen, Joe Burrow?
What are you asking me?
Does anything outside of upgrading your quarterback get you past those guys? Because we don't care about the regular season. We've already proven that, and we know we could do that. But does any of that get us past the person that you want us to get past? We all want to get past them. I'm just trying to find that answer, and I want to hear from you, because I don't have that answer. So I'm praying that you got that answer. But you keep telling me about Fields or Ben Johnson. I'm like, I want the answer. None of that seemed like the answer just yet.
Well, you got to find the answer.
Yeah,
you got to figure it out, because what we got going right now isn't.
Yeah. Your answer to that is blow it up.
I'm not saying blow it up.
You said blow it up at the beginning. You already said that.
Bring in Ben Johnson. I'd be open to it. No, I'd be open. I think, you bring in Ben Johnson, let him run things.
Yeah.
If he wants to make some trades, sure. Let him set the new culture. Let him figure it out.
I could dig
Let him run the squad.
I could dig it.
Because, we're trying to find the guy.
Yeah,
and
we are.
How are we going to get the guy?
I'm listening to you. I want
brought
your
up
approach.
Fields. It's at this point where we're at right now, going into this offseason, I think Fields is really the only hope. We get like realistic hope.
Okay.
Unless you're trading for J.J. McCarthy, unless you're trading and you got to develop him. It's the same thing with Fields, which is why I'm just like,
I'm just listening. I'm
Fields.
like, so we gonna say J.J. McCarthy
do we have any faith,
beating them dudes?
Do we have any faith that we're able to do that with what we got going right now and Tomlin being at the helm? I don't.
So there we go. That's the difference. I was gonna ask you, if you don't believe in Coach T, you don't believe in Coach T. There's nothing wrong with that. Promise, it's nothing. Like, a lot of people don't believe in him. There's nothing wrong with that at all, man.
Yeah, I don't believe. I mean, so here's the thing. If we do the Justin Fields thing, that's the hope, man. Like that's the hope for Tomlin in terms of like salvaging things here and getting things right.
Would you say you have more belief in Ben Johnson or Coach T at this stage?
In terms of just running a relevant team, sure, Tomlin, but faith of getting an offense right, getting a quarterback right.
We talking about the head
Ben
coach.
Johnson,
no, we saying the head man. We talking about, move Coach T out. Do you got more belief in Ben Johnson?
I just know we're at 9
or
10 wins with Tomlin, with Ben Johnson. It could be anywhere, but I'm willing to take that risk.
Okay.
I have more faith in him getting an offense together for 2025 to be able to compete with these teams and potentially developing Fields into that guy, helping develop Fields in that guy. Again, it still comes back on Fields. Like you gotta be good in your own right. But I don't really have much indication that what we got going is gonna get us there. But hey, that's the thing.
Respect.
Tomlin's coming back. We'll see. I just give the keys over to Fields, man. Give the keys over to Fields. Give the keys over to Smith. Let's see if they can do it. I mean, I don't have this crazy amount of optimism, but that's the hope.
All right, I can dig that, man.
Fields becomes elite.
I could dig it, man.
Fire Taylor Austin. Get the defense better.